Yeah, day two. Day two. We're here at the Martin Luther King Jr. Library. Martin Luther King Jr. Library. So we figure we might as well start up. Might as well start up with some quotes from Martin Luther King. Interestingly, these are radical quotes. This is before labeling people sovereign citizen and all that. This is before that. Interesting quotes. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on military defense than on programs for social uplift is approaching spiritual death. April 4th, 1967. April 4th, 1967. And think about this. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on church, or to spend more money on hair, to spend more money on nails, eyelashes, to spend more money on luxury vehicles, one body, 500 cars, one building, 800 rooms, just them living there. That those are signs of spiritual death happening. Once you start seeing no social uplifting programs, people getting murdered in the street, you didn't realize? Didn't realize? Spiritual death. Spiritual death. It's going to happen. Once you start, right? A nation that continues year, it doesn't say a government, a nation. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on BS. Right? They're approaching spiritual death. We're at the place of spiritual life. We were building this morning just on, it's really going to be the few more who are going to pick this up and do something with it. If you're in that category of the Moors who, as soon as you received this, you knew this was the last stop. There's no other train that we're getting on going in any other direction. The only one is the Moorish train. And it's realized and acknowledged with you, you're the ones. Right? You're the ones. It is radical, they say. This thing is radical, right? Because he's talking about spiritual death and all that stuff. He's talking about spiritual death. That's really where it starts. Right? Once they have the mind, they have the body. The evils of capitalism are as real as the evils of materialism and racism. The problems of racial injustice and economic injustice cannot be solved without a radical redistribution of political and economic power. March 30th, 1967. March 3rd, 67. Juali told us about economic power, right? Redistribution of political power. Isn't that what was being established with Noble Juali? The political power being redistributed so we can exercise some. And how we exercise our political power is through our nationality. And that's just what civilized human beings do. The evils of capitalism. So he knew the evils of materialism, militarism, and racism. And yes, nobody's saying you can't defend your stuff. Of course, you have to defend your stuff. You have that right to defend your stuff. You have that right. But there's people who use that, in a different frequency that is not supposed to be used with. Same reason why there's capitalism and there shouldn't be. Same reason why there's racism and there shouldn't be. Right? The price that America must pay for the continued oppression of the Negro and other minority groups is the price of its own destruction. The price that America must pay. Remember, America can't pay jack, because America's a continent. Continent never did anything to anybody. P means U.S. Corporation, Canada Corporation. Foreigners in indigenous land violating the indigenous people's rights in order for them to exist. He's talking about them. He's talking about oppression of the Negro. He's talking about the people who are living right now. People who are living right now, and they're a foreigner, and they haven't paid any taxes to the indigenous people. In no way, shape, or form. Matter of fact, they're going to play basketball games and shoot and miss the garbage can and not go pick up their stuff. Right? White Americans must recognize that justice for Black people cannot be achieved without radical changes in the structure of our society. Radical change in the structure of our society.
Radical change?
Yeah. What's radical change? Right? And if this is radical change, then you have issues. You have issues. Because it's radical change which hasn't amounted to anything. And keep going back to, it's all about what was presented by Noble Juali. It was all about what was presented. Whites, it must frankly be said, are not putting in a similar mass effort to re-educate themselves out of their racial ignorance. It is an aspect of their sense of superiority that the white people of America believed they have so little to learn. The reality of substantial investment to assist Negroes in the 20th century, adjusting to Negro neighbors, and genuine school integration is still a nightmare for all too many white Americans. These are the deepest causes of contemporary abrasions between the races. Loose and easy language about equality, resonant resolutions about brotherhood fall pleasantly on the ear. But for the Negro, there is a credibility gap he cannot overlook. He remembers that with each modest advance, the white population promptly raises the argument that the Negro has come far enough. Each step forward accents an ever-present tendency to backlash. You can't do your own. As soon as you start doing your own, they're burning your community down and all this. And you're thinking it's because they don't want you to do your own. No, you're supposed to do your own. But you have to do it under a nationality. If you don't do it under a nationality, then you're a ward. It's just that easy. It's just that simple. It's not far-fetched. This is very apparent. Everyone else is doing it. Everyone else is doing it. And there's always foreigners in the black areas running everything in the black areas. And then everywhere else you go, they have their own community where they serve their own, and nobody, if somebody wants to go there, they can. But majority of people ain't going there because
It's just them there.
it's just them there. They're going there for. I go to Greek town, I'm not Greek.
Go to Chinatown. I'm not Chinese.
What am I going there for? But all of them are doing it under nationality. This is why they're able to have it. Our people don't want that. Our people want this color thing to be accepted. Want this beast of the field thing to be accepted as identity. All right, if it's accepted as identity, you know that you get beast of the field treatment then, right? You know you get beast of the field treatment. But they're not gonna hear what Moors are saying. They're gonna be debating Moors. We know through painful experience that freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. 1963, and that's from jail. Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Anybody can go in any law dictionary and look up demand. And if you're demanding, you're making a claim. If you're making a claim, you have to have a nationality. Wards can't make claims. Wards cannot make claims. A ward is not able to claim because the ward does not have a nationality. Without a nationality, you are a ward, and wards do not have rights. Wards do not have rights. Don't get mad at Moors. Don't get upset at Moors. Know that all of our leaders knew something. None of our leaders were dumb nigger. All of them knew something. The Panthers were on to something. They went in the state building with guns and all that. And no issues. Right? We just wanted to give some honors to Martin Luther King Jr. since we're at a library in his name.
Yeah. What's our principle?
Just to show you. Oh yeah.
Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
What is it again?
It says hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Right. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love could do that.
And that's our first principle.
Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love could do that. Right. So give thanks to King for at least giving us some keys that we're able to go back now and realize that, okay, he was telling. Wonder they had to get him out the way because he was telling. He was giving up all the goods. So we're going back to this question and answer thing that these Moors have out here, causing confusion, continuing to cause confusion, I should say. And you know, our duty as Moors is to inspire others to be Moors. And, that might be through some video or some type of activity, or right. We're just here to inspire Moors to help in the great missionary work, however it is that they think they should help. People get this ego thing when they come into this realm. Right? It starts off with, and then you could even talk to this too. It starts off with you wanting to help your community, and then it ends with you being the chief head of the whatever, and now you're being paraded around like some type of authority in the Moorish paradigm. So we have the thing up on the screen, anyways. So we're looking at them referencing House Resolution 75, right, from 1933. After reading House Resolution 75 of 1933 in Philadelphia, what made the Moorish community to be considered as former Moors? A thorough Americanization process. Now, there's no all reference points are able to be used. All reference points are able to be used. But to use a reference point and then not have it in context, because people are trying to show that we should be saying that we're Moroccans instead of saying that we're Moorish Americans. Like we should be claiming to be Moroccans and have Moroccan whatever if this is Morocco. Right? '33, Philadelphia, talking about Moors, that's those particular Moors right there. That's not all the Moors all over. They're just talking about these specific Moors at Philadelphia. They're not talking about Moors all over. Just the Moors at Philadelphia. And if they're talking about Noble Drew Ali and they're talking about the Moorish Science Temple and all these things in the House Resolution, if they're talking about all these things, Noble Drew Ali included, then the process that they went through was really his process. It wasn't some, European idea. The Americanization process doesn't have anything to do with U.S. jurisdiction. They're not America. They're not American. They're not Americanization. They're U.S. Americanization, America belongs to the indigenous people of this landmass. not foreigners that came here and set up something called America, and now you're applying America to them too, as if they're American. Because we have to get to the place where we're knowing, we're not referring to some document said. Those days been gone. Those days been gone. It's not document time anymore. Now it's you being what you've been claiming in documents for the past 10 years.
Like you said, like we was talking about earlier with the dude, my neighbor, walking around, he displayed his nationality. That's what he did. So technically, that's what all these Arab Europeans should be doing. And then you would be able to distinguish the difference between who everybody is. They're bunching everybody all together. So it should be. It can't be no other way.
Right. No other way.
Damn, talented.
Yeah. People are gonna be using things Moorish to try to get you away from Moorish. Right? They're gonna use House resolution opposed to using it from the perspective to say, hey, look, these people who are called United States whatever, they know who the Moors are. Look at this resolution that they have talking about the Moors. That's how you need to bring that up as a reference going forward. There's nothing else to use it for. Using it for anything else shows that these people are trying something. Why would they be using this as a reference point for Moors? That's 1933. We're 2024. Why you tell me about Brother Tariq's situation? Tell me about that. Tell me about Brother Mario. Tell me about that. Then I'm gonna tell me about good Moors who said that they were Moors, exercised as Moors, and was successful. Then I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna show you some Moor out there who they don't even know if they're a Moor or not, and they got some paper and they wrote something together on a piece of aluminum foil and put it on their car and said it's a license. And that's the example that they're using. The fact that they're using that as an example, the fact that they're pulling HR 75 to prove their point should let you know that these people are corrupt. There's too much Moorish info, too much Moorish documents for anybody to try to play like they don't know. Right? It's about Noble Drew Ali. How do the treaties say Moors lost their nationality? By becoming naturalized or protected by a foreign nation that had treaty relations with the Empire of Morocco. So the Empire of Morocco had treaty relations with foreign nations. Moors who said, I don't want to be a Moor, I want to be Negro, black colored, and I want to be something else. They naturalized. But when everybody else naturalizes, they don't lose their nationality. When the Chinese comes over here, he's not a Chinese Canadian town. That's not what they're saying. They're saying Chinatown. If they naturalized and lost their nationality, then they should be saying Chinese Canadian town. Because the China is foreign and it's in Canada. Well, then if this is not Canada, if this is something else, if that's not really United States, that's something else. then that means there's somebody in this game who's getting played. But because it seems that all these foreigners keep coming here and taking what belongs to the indigenous people, and then the indigenous people have no remedy or recourse to defend what's happening to them. Because they're doing it in the dead status. And you have all these individuals trying to tell you, no, you're not Moorish American. You got to say you're Moroccan. You got to say you're Indian. The Constitution said Indian. Grandma said that we're Indians, so we got to say that we're Indians, which none of these things are nationalities. None of these things are nationalities. That's why he was specific in telling us that we're Moorish American. Yes, we are descendants of Moroccans, but we're not Moroccans. Yes, America comes from Morocco. Yes, but we're not Moroccan. We're Moorish American. That's what our nationality is. And like we were saying yesterday, they could accept that or not, but they're gonna keep getting shimmitard. They're gonna keep it as soon as you start going to go buy packages and you tell them to stick their hands out, and it's all these one-handed people trying to convince you of something. Then you're gonna know.
That's exactly what it should be. Some missing hand Moors right now. A bunch of them.
Does the USA have treaty relations with the Empire of Morocco? Yes. What is the Kingdom of Morocco in Africa? A third-party state that was established in 1956 after the empire had a sultan that sold out and compromised with the United States. The Kingdom of Morocco in Africa doesn't have anything to do with Moors over here. Any Kingdom of Morocco that you see, that has nothing to do with Moors. That has nothing to do with Muslims of America in the East. Has absolutely nothing. Like the highwayman said, you ever been to damn Morocco? All you know is Atlanta and Missouri and whatever. You know about no damn Morocco. But we're still Moors though. Now we might not know about Morocco, but we're descendants of Moroccans. I'm pretty sure majority of us were born in America, which includes the islands. So when they start giving jurisdiction, because remember, these are Moors talking. So Moors, when they're in their own land, they have superior jurisdiction. So if Moors have superior jurisdiction, but they're spreading the wrong thing to people, then they're not using the superior jurisdiction correctly. Because they're going to create errors, just like the consulate whoever's created errors when they first started, and then everybody ran to go to them, and then that stuff fell apart, and now you're standing there looking like a big dummy because you went chasing after these people who are a fraud. And then another one pops up, and then you say, oh yeah, this must be the one now, and then you go with them, and then they're a fraud, and it continues on and on, except for these few Moors that study. These few Moors who, you know what, I'm not going to the whatever, I'm going to go study. Well, I'm not watching the whatever anymore, I'm going to go study. Oh yeah, pass the thing, the Bible.
Starter kit.
Right. Right. So this is, let me get the big screen. This is what do you call it again?
It's my starter kit.
The starter kit. This is the starter kit, right? This is the Moorish starter kit for Moors who say, hey, I want to know about this Moorish stuff or whatever like that. All right, come to the meeting and then we're going to get the starter kit. Right. Now, this is some of the stuff that's in the starter kit so that people who are coming into this could see that there's a way things go. There's a way that things go. This is not just some thrown together thing yesterday. There's a way that this goes, right? Moors who have been studying are following a pattern that they might not even know that they're following. But there's a common theme amongst certain Moors, right? There's a common theme of how this goes. One of those themes is whatever you're studying that you have a hard copy for you to have access to hold it. And then you also have it as a reference point for where you came from to where you are now, right? So like the starter kit, this was the first stuff. Now there's a library. This went from this to a library now, right? So you start realizing that it's not about I got the sealed document from it's not about that, it's about the info. So when you go through the kit, you got, divine constitution and bylaws should have those things, little photocopies, you might have a receipt that something happened, you got a positive for using your nationality card and not paying tax or whatever like that. Save that receipt, you have that in the starter kit. Because remember, the starter kit is for what you're going to present to anybody else that you have to deal with. It's not yours anymore. Like once you get to the stage of starter kit, now it's to relay the info. So whoever wants to hear it, you're not going out there trying to do anything. Whoever wants it, they're going to come get it. You just have access for them to get it, right? King Alfred plan would be good to have that. Again, this is just a more studying, and over a certain amount of years, there's a certain amount of information compiled. And then this information that's compiled, put together in a binder, and anybody wants to know something, then hey, go through this binder, take some notes, and come back next week, right? Treaty on arrest and false imprisonment. There's just something in the studies. Studying, oh, this is interesting. You download it, print it out, you have a hard copy of it. Right? Remember the digital stuff. Don't get lost. Right. Letters to be read every meeting. Right. Other little things you might find on the internet, just studying, researching, just find stuff. You just find something interesting. Put it aside. Right. Zodiac Constitution. Right. Writs. Library of Congress, United Nations Declarations of Rights, Treaty of Peace and Friendship, Treaty of Verona, some canons, Buck Act, Dred Scott case, Pope acting as military commander, Treaty of Tripoli, civil orders, Congressional Globe, HJR 1823, public law, when crimes are commercial, Zodiac Constitution, Christian Black Codes, and the list goes on. We can keep going, and then there's stuff in here that's not even in here because it's just so much. But bringing this up to say that you have to study. You have to study, and we're not talking about studying because you saw something on whatever or you heard something on whatever. It has to be you. So, for example, when like right before fully falling into the Moorish paradigm, like right before, I had read The Alchemist book.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's real good.
And yeah. And that was a solidifier for me, just because it said Moorish in it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The scenery that's playing out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could see it all. You could see it all happening. You could see it all happening. And then it talks about Moorish and Moorish breastplates and all this. And I'm like, okay, so this is an actual real thing. Like, this is an actual real thing. This book that I'm not even thinking Moorish is gonna be in here.
Yeah.
And it was there. Right? There's once you study for yourself, you're not study to get out of something, you're not study to because you have some type of inspiration from some outside whatever. Something this has to be personal to you. That's the only way it's gonna mean something. And then the people that this means nothing to, because they don't have a personal relationship with it. Right? Like the Moor could vouch for how many different Moors he brought to the territory to do the same thing that we're doing right now. That stuff never happened. Because whoever was coming, their vibe was messed up from the jump. And then he goes through all the examples of little situations that, hey, this guy's not a Moor. This guy's not a Moor. There's some type of charlatan or game player or they're not serious about what this is. Many are gonna play this game and not take this serious by putting out wrong information. Right? And the putting out of the wrong information is only to cause confusion for the ones who don't study. But the ones who study, we already know, we see this stuff coming a mile away. As soon as you start making up flags and making up logos and starting to create all these whatever is that, and then saying that it's Moorish, you know that something a game is on the way. You know a game's on the way. Okay. If the Kingdom of Morocco wasn't established until 1956, then who was the Morocco that signed the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787? The Moroccan Empire that was here on the land that we ignorantly call America. And also too, remember that when we talk about Morocco, when we talk about Morocco pre 1787, pre 1787, and we're talking about Morocco. Everybody knows that it includes over there and over here. It includes northeast, southwest Africa, across Great Atlantis, onto the present North, South, Central America, and adjoining islands. All that is Morocco. Right? When they start doing their little treaties and foreigners start realizing that they can get piece of this and all that, now you have this thing of, you know, Europeans are over here and they can set up this and they can mark boundaries and do whatever it is that they want. No, that's not how this goes. That's not how it's supposed to go. If this is the empire, and then all the people who are part of the empire, they're responsible for their own jurisdiction. No sultan coming over here to check on Moors over here or something like that. What are you talking about? Right? It's going to be that these people honor what it is. And because of the honor is why they're going to, oh, wow, we went from over there to over here, and we're seeing the same people. We're seeing the same culture, turbans, fezzes. We're not seeing what the history books say is the people who are here. We're seeing people who could pass for Moroccan, who could pass for Algerian and Egyptian. Why is there hieroglyphs over here? Why is there all these different languages over here? Obviously, it's its own jurisdiction. Obviously, it's its own jurisdiction. Right? Just like when you watch when you watch the martial arts movies, and then the emperor sending people to the different provinces with messages and whatever. Right? That could only happen on the same landmass. That's not happening where they have to 8 months and all this to deliver a message. Right? Kingdom of Morocco has nothing to do with Moorish Americans. Morocco pre-1787 has nothing to do with Moorish Americans. Right? Moorish Americans, we're our own nation. Juali told us that we're a nation. How are we was talking about religious corporations and all that? Right? Did Noble Juali or the MSTA save anybody? No. No. Right? No. Juali didn't save anybody. Right? And when we talk about Juali saving people, we could only speak for ourselves. We could only speak for ourselves. There's not too many people who could speak on being a Moor. Right? Many people aren't ready. Many people are still trying to find out how could they become a Moor and all this. Right? Being a Moor. When we say that we're Moors, it is a being. There's very few that are gonna be. Very few that are gonna be. We were going to get food. Drunk Uncle Ruckus comes up. Uncle Ruckus comes up. Els, right? Els, I'm a Muhammad, or was it Muhammad? He said, or I'm a Elijah or something. I'm a Elijah. You're Els, right? He wasn't. No, I'm a babe. He's like, oh, look, you gonna give me a hug? Give me a hug. Drunk, but knows. Els, just seen two feathers. Oh, Els, huh? Like, this is what it is. This is where it's at. Broad day in the streets. Drunk as a skunk. Can't even stand up straight.
But he stood up straight when he was talking to us.
Yeah. She got on the square as soon as we started talking to us. Got on the square, drunk, got on the square to talk to the Moors. 10-second conversation. It wasn't even no long thing. Because he was out of it. He just saw two fezzes and knew that those are Els. Knew. And then gave us his fiction. Hey, I'm a Elijah. People know. Yeah.
Even today, we was walking all day, walking past all the hyper Europeans and for lack of a better term, the Asians, Chinese people or whatever, and everybody was nice and cordial.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning.
Y'all see the feds, and I have my hat with the flag on, and my
flag
on my sweater and all that stuff. They see it. Hey, just morning, neighbor. Not them, it's us.
Yep, it's us. That's the issue. That's the issue. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. We're here. We're here. This is what it's about, right? Moors getting together with other Moors who are on their frequency.
Sober it up. There wasn't a sober enough situation. That was that 10-second conversation, pass and go situation.
Mm-hmm. Sober them up for 10 seconds.
Sober up for 10 seconds.
10 seconds, he sobered up. After that, right back to that bar.
He got us back over, went on and walked out.
Yep. Something else I was freaking.
What you mentioned something yesterday about the tassel, the length of the tassel, or remember I told you because I had a tassel on here, but I gave it away. I thought you mentioned something about you was made reference to something about the tassel. It might have just been about the person that gave the tassel to. I don't remember.
There's been so much.
Yeah. Thoroughly enjoying it. I was soaking it up like it's
Moorish literature. Friday, September 28th, 1928. Drualian time. Allah has sent us a prophet and sent him in time with a holy message which is divine. He came to let the Asiatics of America know they are of the ancient family of the Moors. His spiel was to the Asiatics first. Why? Because they have been sinners since their departure from their forefathers' religion. O sinners, why don't you hear the soul of Islam ringing in your ears? The Prophet has said, that if I were you, I would get ready before you are made to do so. Now come and pick up your forefathers and mothers' ancient and divine creed, which carries your national name indeed. It will entitle you to your rights, which you have been denied. Because in 1774, your light was cut off from the ancient Moors, and that is why Allah has sent us a prophet in 1886 to prepare the light that was out. In 1925, the prophet said, I amended the broken wires and have connected them with the higher powers. So come on, Asiatics, don't you want to go? We are marching on to Canaan. I used to think that was a city in the sky, but now I know it is here on earth. Don't you want your share? September 1928. And then months after that, he was assassinated. Right? He came to let the Asiatics of America know they are the ancient family of the Moors. He was playing around the ancient family of the Moroccans, ancient family of the Tartarians, ancient family of the Sumerians, ancient family of the Atlanteans, ancient family of the Moors. Because when you're talking about Moors, you're talking about all those people. When you're talking about Moors, you're talking about all those people. The giants, all of them. You're talking about Moors. Predator, alien, all of them, you're talking about Moors. It's all Moors. In 1774, your light was cut off from the ancient Moors. I thought Moors not ancient. Didn't they say Moors not ancient? Isn't that what the great debaters say? That Moor isn't ancient? If Joel is making reference to ancient Moors, obviously Moors are ancient.
What happened? Our light was cut off in 1774. A big date with the quote-unquote U.S. is 1776. Because I'm a bicentennial baby. My birth year is 76. So what happened, what transpired in those 2 years, you know what I'm saying? If our light was cut off in 1774, there's a 2-year gap between 74 and 76. Because 76 is like their Independence Day, and you know it's 1776. So what happened between 74 and 76?
Yeah.
That's a 2-year period, literally.
And I think it has to all do with all the slavery stuff being done.
Yeah.
So
Once
it's
done, writing it up and shit, like they say, they might get rid of the sword. They just took the sword out of our head. We just wrote it. You're not Moor. You're not Indian. Negro, black, and color.
And that's
we
all
wrote it and said it. It's degreed.
That's all the light went off. Stop calling these people by their name Moors.
All we gotta do is write it and know.
Then the lights out. Stop calling them Moors and the lights out.
Yeah.
That's all. That plan worked to perfection.
Yeah.
Crazy how the plan worked to perfection too. Right? Well, near perfection, because there's still people out here saying they're Moors. But, you know, like we said, the standard is that one drunk uncle that popped up.
Standard.
That's the standard of people who know that we're Moors. Right? As far as our people are concerned, not the world people, our people. Right? That's the stock that we're taking from. When we're saying we're pick Moors, we're gonna have every three Moors that we get, right, that we could use, like the 3 Moors from yesterday. Every 3 Moors that we get we could use, here comes one that we can't use. The uncle. But he even knows. right? Which is supposed to have the people know that, well, if this drunk knows, then, and if this drunk knows and you don't know, you better go check yourself playing games, right? Friday, December 15th, 1928. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali has spent many hours preparing the latest edition of the Quran, which will be a masterpiece of religious literature. To Americanize the Oriental idea of Islam involves many changes that are more or less negative to the main purpose of the Islamic religion. Such changes are carefully considered with the idea to avoid changing the complexion of the original text. The philosophy of the ancient prophets is the main initiative in the compilation of the Quran. No thoughts of propaganda enter this work, as it has been the case of many former religious works, such as the Bible and other books of creed. The sole purpose of the Prophet in giving a message to the world is to save fallen humanity. When a compiler attempts to inject propaganda into a work of this kind, there arises a need to cover the true text in order to prevent a clash with the truth and ideas involved in such propaganda. Former works of this kind have either hindered or helped the nations proportionately to the adherence to the truth as the original purpose of keeping the ignorant in such a state. It is hard to resist the temptation to use this medium for gain. Hence, many of the former treaties on works of this kind have been the means to foster ideas of the unscrupulous wherein they desire to use religious influence for gain. The many secrets known to the Prophet that could be used for the salvation of the nation were either left out or colored to an extent that their meaning was made void. Such is not the case with this edition of the Quran. All the secrets of the ages known to man are put into this work. The secrets known only to the Magi are here revealed. The reading of the stars, the interpretation of marriage relations, the understanding of the span of life, and others such as has been kept from the Occidental world, are in this book boldly brought out. The Quran, Americanized as it will be, can be bought in a few weeks. It will be sent to all governors of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And that's 1928. That's 1928. So let's recap. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali has spent many hours preparing the latest edition of the Quran, which will be a masterpiece to religious literature. To Americanize the Oriental idea of Islam involves many changes that are more or less negative to the main purpose of the Islamic religion. Such changes are carefully considered with the idea to avoid changing the complexion of the original text. Quran, which will be a masterpiece of religious literature, to Americanize the Oriental idea of Islam. To Americanize the Oriental idea of Islam. So if he's Americanizing it, then obviously he's doing it for the people of America. He's not going and getting some old book from back then or whatever. He's taking all the old stuff from back then, compiling it into a new form so that Moors could have access to all those lessons that our ancient foremothers and forefathers had. Right? Canaanland Moors, look back at all the lynched bodies of people that look like you and me from the 1800s to 1960s, then read Article 21 in the Treaty of Peace and Friendship in 1787. Well, the people who got lynched and all that stuff, they have nothing to do with Treaty of Peace and Friendship because they didn't have nationality. Because when you look at all the people who got kidnapped as princes and all that stuff and then were brought over here, all these people who were kidnapped as princes and all, they didn't lynch them. They didn't find no stuff of no prince lynched. But you find all that Negro stuff lynched though. And colored man lynched. And the black man, you'll find that every day. You have it there?
Yeah, because it don't apply. We're under occupation.
No, we could read it out so we could deal with it.
Which one did it say? Article
21. Yeah.
Article 21. Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1787, Article 21. If any citizen of the United States should kill or wound a Moor, or on the contrary, if a Moor shall kill or wound a citizen of the United States, the law of the country shall take place. The equal justice shall be rendered, the counsel assisting at the trial, and if any delinquent shall make his escape, the counsel shall not be answerable for him in any manner whatever. It'd be all fine and dandy if we went under occupation and this applied, but name me one treaty where they have done what the treaty says.
That too.
I'll wait.
That too.
Name one.
Treaties just there. Historical documents. Historical reference points for you to know. Look, these people know who the Moors are. This is 1700s. They're talking about a Moor. Don't wound a Moor. They don't know who the Moors are? That's all you're supposed to get from that. Because they ain't no exercising any treaty right now. Ask all the Moors who've tried. And that doesn't mean that something's wrong with the Moorish paradigm or whatever. That means you're under occupation. Get over it. You're under occupation. Get over it. It's time to get over it. We have an Americanized Quran for our liberation. We have a prophet for our liberation.
With a picture that I can see.
Right? With a picture. We know who our prophet is. Like we have what was brought for us. You have what was brought for us. You see? His spiel was to the Asiatics first. Why? Because they have been sinners since their departure from their forefathers' religion. We've been sinners since the departure of our forefathers' religion. There ain't no treaty saving no sinner. And it's unfortunate that that's the case. But that's the case. Yes, we get it. We get it that they're supposed to be doing certain things. But this is occupation. It's occupation. It's a hard pill to swallow. I know. We have all these rights. We're in our own land. They should be paying taxes. George Washington's letter. Blah, 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 blah. We know. We know. Don't get caught up in that. This is about learning the truth about your nationality and your birthrights. Unlike we were talking about with the Bible. With the Bible and having the stuff in the Bible that you saw.
Yeah. The Masonic Bible, yeah. No. It's just like the alchemist. It was mention of Moorish XYZ all throughout it. That's what I wanted. I was literally gonna get the I got it, but I was gonna get the Abdullah Bay Moors and Masonry and put it next to it and go through.
It goes
page for page.
Was there any questions out there? Unconscious Moors? Anybody hiding in the back didn't say anything in the chat? Feel free to post your questions, because
Free hot dogs and nachos.
like we be saying, we're doing this for the people, right? Moore took time out his day to say, hey, I'm gonna open this up for people in my territory. Yesterday we had 3. Yesterday we had 3.
The goal was 1, so we winning.
Yeah, the goal was 1, so we're up. We're up right now.
Yeah.
Right. That's crazy. The work that Moors, have been doing. Moors who, you never hear of. Never hear of. But making things happen in the background. Just because that's the right thing to do. Just because. It's just the right thing to do. Do what you can. Do what you can for your nation. The philosophy of the ancient prophets is the main initiative in the compilation of the Quran. No thoughts of propaganda enter this work, and has been the case of many former religious works such as the Bible and other books of creed. So the philosophy of the ancient prophets being the main initiative in the compilation of this Quran that we have as Moors, then the Quran is definitely not any of those other holy books then, right? And those holy books have absolutely nothing to do with what Noble Jawali brought for the Moors. Because Jawali brought you your own prophet, so you have one of those, you don't have to be chasing after theirs. He brought your own holy book, so you could have your own, so you don't have to go chasing after theirs. He brought your own flag, so you could have your own, and you don't have to go chasing after theirs. He brought your own nationality, so you could have your own, so you don't have to go chasing after theirs, so you can be a nation. Why do Moors beat those who choose tribal titles instead of bringing them into wholeness? You could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And this is basic. If you can't get this, you're either too incompetent to be used for anything civilized that we want to do, or you're a traitor and a sellout. And what we're starting to realize is majority of the people that are claiming some leadership, whatever, are traitors and sellouts. And they were sent. They're plants. Right? They're plants. That's the only thing that makes sense. Do you recommend Moors move to Canaanland? If you could afford it. But don't think that you're coming here and there's some Moorish
umbrella that you
everything's all right in Canaanland because they have a temple there, and you just think, shit is sweet. Shit ain't sweet. There's work that needs to be done. right? And then when you come here, and then the machine goes wonky, and then there's snow up to your knees again out here. Then you're gonna be mad at that. Why did I come here? You shouldn't have made me come here. I don't have my snowshoes and all this.
It's cold.
It's cold. I didn't know it was going to be this cold. You're on the line, you said it was 20 degrees in February. That was the last year. That was last year. So, you know, unless you can survive wherever the Moors are at, right? Unless you can survive, go there and know that you're going to survive. I wouldn't just run and going over there because some Moors over there. You know, I wouldn't suggest just running over there. You know, but I'm saying if you can do it, if you're sitting on a 50K or something like that, and you want to go live somewhere else where Moors are at, you know, and you went and checked, and let me see, there's 20 Moors here, there's 30 Moors there, there's 80 Moors over there. I'm going where the 80 Moors are at. Then hey, do your thing. More power to you. You know, trying to find ones to be around. You know, the majority of people can't leave their domicile for 3 months right now. Just pick up and leave their domicile and then come back in 3 months and domicile's still there. Majority of people wouldn't be able to do that. So unless, like we said the other day, unless somebody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who's going to say, here, Mars, here's 20 million to do whatever it is you Mars think you need to do. Right? Then don't look for that thing of the Mars moving and being somewhere together and whatever like that. Like that's going to be from Mars, wherever they are, galvanizing around each other. That's how you're going to have that idea of the Moors being in one place. That the Moor who's near New York is connected with all the different other Moors in New York, and then they have a community of Moors. Then the Moors there near Aurora, they're gravitating amongst each other, and they're doing for their area to say that they're Moors. And then when we have a bunch of those, then we can say, all right, where are we all gonna go to? But until then, it's business as usual. Don't go nuts, because homeless people are everywhere. The shit is crazy everywhere. Not just where we're at. I'm somewhere else and I'm looking around. I'm seeing these homeless people like where I'm at. Right?
Oh, it's not a book. I put that together.
Oh yeah, you want to speak on the?
Was a question in the chat asking if you could get references and everything to the more starter kit that we spoke of. But that's something I personally put together myself just from going through things that I thought that needed to be. It's a starter kit, just basic knowledge of more science, literally the basics from. But it ain't just that though, you know. It's, some of it come in book form. It ain't all that I could have printed it all out or whatever.
Yes. Different house resolutions, different articles,
laws, different stuff. Yeah.
articles. You go on the website, you see something, you have access to a print, you might just print the page out.
Yeah, literally.
And then it becomes part of the quote-unquote package.
Go to RV Bay Publications.
Yeah.
That's a great way to start. Go to RV Bay Publications and just start ordering books. Literally. Are you confused about your history and your ancestry? There's a book on that.
Yeah.
There's a book for sisters. They got even not a sisters auxiliary, but they got a certain section for the sister, the more white woman and everything. So RV Bay Publications.
Mm-hmm. Right, so it's not necessarily It's not
a
necessarily
standardized,
standardized. You have to have this. This is just compilation of what he's collected over the years.
Stuff and behind
What he's collected over the years in order to,
navigate through this maze of our land, because that's what it is. It's a maze.
Yeah.
Landmines everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I donate to Canaanland Moors? Yeah, you could donate to Canaanland Moors. There's PayPal. I'll put it in the chat.
Oh yeah, you still need to exchange currency?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I still have the stuff over at the thing.
Yeah.
So I can get fat on that later. Just need
Yeah.
to warm it up, that's all. And that'll do till tomorrow. So if you want to donate to Canaanland, that's the PayPal, mstova.dofornation7@gmail.com. And just put a message. Some people have donated and remain anonymous or whatever, but it'll be good if you're gonna donate. Just put who you are that's sending it, and why we deserve a donation. We just like to know, because it's good to be able to get the support, the financial support, so that things could keep moving. Right? Because this is not some, the rest of whoever's out here who's trying to get paid off this. Right? That's not what this is about. Majority of Moors that we know, they don't rape their people. They have a trade or something that they do. They got a job or something like that, and they get financed by hustling, by doing whatever they got to do to get finance. They're not out there murdering anybody. They're not killing anybody. Then they can do what they feel that they have to do to survive out here. This is about practical. This is about practical. This is about operative. This is not about speculative. It's not about speculative. Yeah. But we're out here, it's not for the Moors to be, at the beck and call. People have to start doing their own due diligence. Because it's gonna get to that point, just like Jawali said, walking around and wish you could see a Moor. You wish you could find a Moor to talk to build with, to ask a question. Because Moors are at that place. We're at salvation. We could smell it. Salvation is right there. Your fingertips are just nicking it. Like salvation is that close. That keeps Moors inspired. I think all these Moors couldn't fold already and say, forget this, forget you people, and getting no rooms for you people to learn anything anymore. You have no honor.
You said there was space for more just because we can sense it. We know it's just a matter of it could be just like that.
Yep.
So it's we're just waiting for that. That
could happen anytime.
Anytime.
That could happen anytime. Yeah. Moorish literature. Oh, yeah, we didn't finish going through all these. The sole purpose of the prophet is giving such a message to the world is to save humanity. When a compiler attempts to inject propaganda into a work of this kind, there arises a need to cover the true text in order to prevent a clash with the truth and ideas involved in such propaganda. So the sole purpose is saving humanity. That's the sole purpose. The sole purpose is saving humanity. That this message that Noble Drew Ali brought. So humanity must have been in a state during his time. Had to be in a state. When the compiler attempts to inject propaganda into a work of this kind, there arises a need to cover the true text in order to prevent a clash with the truth. Because remember, propaganda has been the case of many former religious works, such as the Bible and other books of creed. So Nubu Drew Ali presenting what he presented was so that all we're getting is the truth. All we're getting is the truth. We don't have room or time for anything else. Right? Trying to decipher this and that. Either you know or you don't. And if you don't know, it's perish time if you don't know. Right? Former works of this kind have either hindered or helped the nations proportionately to the adherence to the truth as the original purpose of keeping the ignorant in such a state. They want the people in that state. Forget want, they have the people in that state. The people are in that state right now. Because they keep going back to these former works, which are a fraud. All the former works are a fraud. Right? When we're talking about books of creed, we're not talking about just regular books. We're talking about books having to do with the religious or the dogmatic or the whatever. Right? The You Have a Religion books. Those type of books, well, it should be the Holy Quran of the Moor Science Temple that everybody's reading right now. That should be the book that's being read. That should be everybody's holy book. This Americanized version of the Quran. Because as you see, all the holy books haven't stopped jack, have they? They haven't solved any problems, have they? Isn't that the purpose of them? Basic instructions before leaving Earth and all that? So if that's what that is, then how come it's not doing the damn job? Obviously something's wrong here. And what's wrong is that a prophet actually came and brought all these things for the nations, gave them divine warnings and all that. And it didn't take heed. All right, no problem. If you don't want to take heed, no problem. No problem. This part. It is hard to resist the temptation to use this medium for gain. It is hard to resist the temptation. All right, let's do this. Let's see if there's a metaphysical meaning for that. Right, the temptation.
Right.
Metaphysical meaning of temptation: a proving, testing, or trying. The temptations in the wilderness represent the desires and ambitions of the untried and untrained forces in the subconsciousness. When in the wilderness, Jesus was tempted by the adversary or personality, which, but with his superior understanding, he withstood the deceptive promises made to him. When the personality suggested that Jesus make matter out of substance, use his power to rule over others, or to do marvelous things to prove his mastery, he said to the satanic personality, "Get thee hence, Satan." That the temptations in the wilderness were not physical is quite evident, because there is no mountain from which all the kingdoms of the earth could be seen. Nor was there a temple in the wilderness in which the adversary could have taken Jesus. All these and many more, including the royal entry of Jesus into Jerusalem, riding on an ass, are allegorical representations of the way in which certain states of mind are handled by the initiate. Right? It is hard to resist the temptation to use this medium for gain. Right? And again, when the debate, the Ali Muhammad debate,
that's what he said. That's what the prophet said. I refuse to use this for gain.
No, it is hard to resist the temptation to use this medium for gain. That's how crazy it is. The seeing the seat, the glowing seat of power, and oh my gosh,
I can do whatever I can.
If I sit there, I have whatever I want. Yeah, Tesla start freaking.
Yeah.
Inspector Gadget. Tesla start Inspector Gadget. We'll get excited.
Straight up.
Hence, many of the former treaties on works of this kind have been means to foster ideas of the unscrupulous, wherein they desire to use religious influence for gain. Right? Using the status for gain. Same thing that these people, remember when people were popping up showing badges and stuff like that? Claiming their authority? Where are they at? Where are the badge people at? Remember when you were telling us, well, that's your brothers, why are you talking about them like that? You can't talk about your brothers. Where are they at right now? All the people who we told, hey, stop listening to these jokers. Go to rvpublications.com, go study. Go to khalifamedia.com, go buy some books. Nah, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. But here come the unscrupulous. Using the influence for gain. Whether it's Noble Drew Ali's name, whether it's putting Moors in the title of their video, whether it's talking BS about Moors, and then when Moors start addressing the BS that these people are talking about Moors, using their own videos that they put out talking BS about Moors, they're going to go snitch to YouTube to get people strikes on their channels and all that. Because they don't care about liberating the people. They don't care. Like this Moorish stuff, what have you done for the Moorish movement or whatever? You know what I mean? I'm at Colorado right now. Now, what do you mean, what have I done? Where are you at? Well, I'm at my house or whatever. Okay, so then we don't even have to have any more conversation.
Kumar said yesterday when he first walked in the library, it's like, Cujo can't come. Cujo can't come to America. He can't. Oh, man, Cujo here, man.
Right? All those people have been proved wrong. Those people have been proved wrong. How come you're not going back to them and saying you guys are full of BS? We just saw Cujo live from Colorado. I thought you guys said that he can't travel and all that. Right? You're supposed to garner support. You're supposed to be popping on and nowhere like, yo, oh yeah, oh wow, those guys were lying.
They're actually here. Oh, man,
It's here, wow. They're lying.
I was 2 hours away, but I drove. I don't care. I can't see you.
Yeah. Right.
I live one state over, but you here, so that's the closest.
Yeah, that's the closest I can get.
It was a 19-hour drive last night, and I got to go in 20 minutes. I'm here. That's what it should be. But it ain't. It's irritating.
Yeah. And again, it's the you know, Moors know what this is and what it's supposed to be. Like, this is only supposed to be one way. There's no other way than this supposed to be. Every Moor is supposed to be taken care of properly because Moors are owed incalculable debt from society, every society. Right? You know. But we stay steadfast. Because we know a noble Juali brought. And we also know a man is spirit, not the flesh. So, you know, there's somewhere that all this stuff is going. You know, all this energy that Moors are putting to the Moorish movement, you know, the energy of just being in the presence of another Moor.
Yeah. A faithful Moor.
You know? Yeah, the right type of Moor.
Like you told me yesterday, you get you in touch with the right kind of Moor.
Yeah.
The right Moor.
The Moors that people should be connecting with. You know? Yeah. Don't fall for it. They're using this for gain. Right? And you tell them, you could tell the ones who are doing it, they're always gonna have some price that they're giving you. They're gonna always have some price. If they don't have a price, they have some type of class or some type of whatever that's connected to a price. They hardly ever are you gonna get something for free. Hardly ever. Right? Hardly ever are they just gonna put you on to something. Right? Everything costs something. Right? That's not Holy Covenant. That's not Holy Covenant. Knowing that you know, this lady's about to lose her house or something. And you know, she's in some. I'll just take 3,000. I'll just take 3,000. I usually charge 7, but I'll take 3. And then they're gonna go do that and then not
Disappear.
disappear.
You get a hold of them, you go into emails, phone going straight to voicemail.
All that for what? $3,000.
For $3,000. And more white out there home on the street now.
Yeah.
As opposed to just went on and paying their mortgage.
Yep. And it's messed up that there's these type of people out there. You know, it's because some people I don't know what the hell they're thinking before they do certain things, especially when it comes to giving up finance for some Moorish whatever. Like, okay, I know some people aren't really thinking, you know. because it doesn't make sense why you would pay $3,000. I would pay 500 or something, much less some thousands.
Some shit you can go print out.
Yeah, or 60 for some stuff that's 10 cents to print, a penny a page.
Yeah.
But the scamming is coming from Mars, like, people who know. They know people out there are dumb, so they're taking advantage of people's ignorance. And even all that stuff, all that frequency has to be going somewhere. Like people being that low to go sell some fake package to somebody. Like they got something, they gotta have something coming.
Fake passport.
Yeah, they gotta have something coming to them. We might not bear witness. But they definitely have something coming to them. That's for sure.
That too, Cujo, with dealing with what I've been dealing with or have dealt with out here, that I came to that conclusion and I'm cool with it and I want peace with it, because I was like, as long as I do right, I'm a big component of big fan of the clean hands, pure heart. As long as I keep that there, I'm good.
Yeah.
They'll get theirs, whether I see it or not. Whatever, however it come about, because even when this happened, I got that mentality like I can't go snap out, and I can, but I can't.
But you choose.
So I choose not to. So I'm gonna go this route.
Yeah.
But I was like, they get theirs. And sure enough, they've gotten theirs. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Not at my hand or whatever, but it's happened. So I'm like, even with that stuff out here, I'm like, as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, they'll get theirs, and I'm not even worried about it. They're not focused on it or whatever. Let it go. It'll be what it is. Keep doing what I'm doing. Stay the course. And that's what I've been doing. That's where we at.
But if you had a message for the two in the back with regard to coming into this and other than like where they should go and study and things like that, like how has like your energy as a individual changed from who you were before to who you are now?
Just like the brother said yesterday, with how even with his closest friend, how he was ready to snap out on him because he said something to him or whatever, but he was like, but he didn't. This, that, and the other. And then when he did, he said he felt kind of bad because he did, and that's why he didn't go as hard as he did, because it was the person that it was or whatever. So I'm that same way too. Like, you just gotta take the time and study. None of this is rocket science, and it's really, 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 really basic. Like the master teacher says, third grade is simple. It's simple. Studying opens your mind. So the more you study, the more you should want to study. That's where I leave it at. That's where we left at. That's what I do. They couldn't don't have a temple, so I created a temple and created my own library at home. That's where what I get offline is the little I get offline. Other than that, as you see yourself, man, I'm at home in the basement reading.
No. For devil's advocate. Oh, you can't do that. You gotta go to the temple. You can't do that.
In regards to that, and in my aspect of the way I looked at that is, no temple that I came in contact with that I could physically attend on a regular basis was right, and I didn't find any actually that I could physically attend regularly. There were none in my driving distance. Everyone was out of driving distance for me to attend regularly. But even coming in contact with those temples, I've seen your temple, for example. I use Canaanland Moore's temple, for example, as being a right and independent or upright, fearless temple. And then I've seen other temples. Every other temple that I've seen has not been that way. Like you said, the one in Philadelphia where they're peeking through the mail slide and stuff.
Yeah.
People standing inside, not wearing
Pittsburgh.
It's been that Pittsburgh. It's been that. That's been the sentiment overall, and for the most part. So I said I went within myself and created my own temple. I am my own temple. So my home and my library is my temple. That's where I study. That's where I do whatever needs to be done. That's where I create any writs or whatever it is. That's where I do it because I don't have a temple. Get a hold of Grand Sheik Cujo. That's the closest temple to me that I would trust to do anything or handle anything or advise on anything. Any issue that I have to deal with.
Yeah, there has to be a like in these days. That's how we did the more ventures and all that. Because in these days you have to have like a certain level of individuals who you can, for whatever any subject matter, any issue, any whatever, you can reach out to this more and just ask a question or have a dialogue about it or whatever. It's needed.
And the elders are the elders, but I really think you, Brother Marino, I can't think of what you said his appellation was, but Manchester View 720.
Yeah.
Rise Mariah, Mother Rise Mariah, Anna Edel, that core 5 or 6 right there, and Ty, obviously, we got to say Ty, it should be Ty the same Ty as the appellation, but Ty's too, of course, obviously, but those 6 or 7, that's probably right, I think I just named 7 people, 7, what are they, but that core group right there is what I stuck with from the get-go, and that's still who I'm with today.
Yeah.
Because to me, they say you need a solid foundation and a solid grounding. That's
Can't get more grounded.
Can't get more grounded than that. And that's for all aspects, metaphysical, from the astrological to the physical. That every one of them gonna hit on some point of whatever it is I'm looking for. And that's what keeps me right here where I'm at.
Here's one. We could both touch this one. So RV Bay Publications is nationalizing without a temple. We wouldn't say RV Bay is nationalizing, and we wouldn't say that the temple is nationalizing. One's a publication, one's an institution. The nationalizing, as far as sealing documents, giving identification cards, that's right to self-identification. And being that we have right to self-identification, anybody can do that if they know who they are. The issue with everyone doing that is no man is an island. So you look like a goof saying that you're a nation, but you're the only one that has this identification card. But you're a nation. Well, if you're a nation, there should be more people with this thing. Right? So Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, who people keep saying RV Bay, right? Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs is what carries on those processes of issuing identification cards and sealing paperwork, right? That's done through Great Seal. When you check the paperwork, it's sealed by Great Seal. It's not sealed by RV Bay Publications. Right? It's sealed by Great Seal because it's Great Seal who is performing those duties. So when people start saying, "Oh, see, RV Bay Publications selling nationality cards without," you already know these people are here to they're a plant. Because only a plant would think a publications company could nationalize somebody or a dummy.
It's in the goddamn name, RVBayPublications.com.
Publications, right? It's not a government. It's not a none of that. Right? So don't fall for it. When you hear them talk like that, don't fall for it. Right? Somebody's trying to play you. Somebody's definitely trying to play you if they go there. Oh, well, RVB Publications makes nationality cards. As soon as they go there, as soon as they talk like that, know that they have some type of motive. Right? Right, so Jabral, you could, if you have any more questions, if that wasn't clear or anything like that, you could ask some more questions. So it's until you're clear. Right? And if you're clear, thanks for your question.
Yeah, those it's a good time. That's what they used to say that all the time. I'm clear.
We clear?
Yeah.
Yep.
But they would have me sitting in my room, but when I was watching, when they were talking about something, get him, Ty.
Yeah, get him. Get him. And 147.
No, it's only 47 likes. There's 71 people watching. Where the bathroom at? Was it down the hall?
Yeah, no, downstairs actually. All right. The many secrets known to the prophet that could be used for the salvation of the nation were either left out or colored to an extent that their meaning was made void. Such is not the case with this edition of the Quran. I thought people said that Noble Drew Ali said that we're supposed to be reading the Quran of over there. Why are you telling me that we're supposed to be reading Quran of over there if Drew Ali's telling you the edition of the Quran that he brought is what you should be studying? I can't hear you. Oh, people always go pull our authority. Right? They always go pull our authority and they start talking about, well, Noble Drew Ali said that the power and authority is derived from the great Quran of Muhammad. And Moors are supposed to be missionaries for the Prophet to establish the faith of Muhammad in America. How come he's not talking about Muhammad in this writing from Friday, December 15th, 1928? Why didn't he mention that Quran once in here? How come he's only talking about the Quran that he brought? Well, if Noble Drew Ali was trying to get us to be Mohammedans, then why in Masterpiece of Religious Literature, Secrets of Other Creeds Revealed, why is it that Noble Drew Ali is talking about Americanizing the Quran over there? Which he did. Because they're going to keep quoting Noble Drew Ali lines and saying, see, That line's in the Quran, so that means it came from the Quran. The many secrets known to the Prophet that could be used for the salvation of the nation were either left out or colored. It was colored. So is not the case with this Quran that he's talking about, that he's holding, that he brought for the Moors. So are you talking about Quran of over there? Unless these people are against Noble Drew Ali. They're trying to get you to give up your prophet, to go accept some prophet that you never even seen him. You don't even know what he looks like. You're riding with the prophet, you don't even know what the prophet looks like. Then the prophet that you could see, not even concerned with him. Interesting. No. Dedicated to the sons of man. Amexem, the land of our fathers, the land where the gods love to dwell, the birthplace of the ancient Egypt land, where civilization first saw the light of day. Now, since man has left his first religion, he has been suffering from a complex disease which in some cases takes hold of his passions and desires. The misdirection of his brain causes him to become a living monster. He is a slave to the lower self. No scientists nor doctors have been able to find anything to effect a cure until the coming of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who comes from the east, bringing the light of new day. The Moorish divine movement, built upon love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, the salvation for the nation. In the deliberation of nations, no consideration is given to a people who are not of a nation. In 1774, the Europeans of this country took the birthrights away from a people who they forced under bondage. They were not slaves, they were bound free men. The subsequent generation who followed them in this bondage were slaves because of their minds being subjugated to a European psychology. They were branded with the name Negro and were separated from the illustrious history of their forefathers who were the founders of civilization. I'm smarter than that, but I'm saying y'all help to nationalize without the registered temples, because the Moors outside the temples don't seem to be respected or recognized, but I could be wrong. When you talk about registering with the temples, what temple did Noble Drew Ali register with to be a Moor? Because there had to be the temple for him to go in there and say, I'm Moorish American and whatever. Right? Registering with the temples wasn't a registration in that sense. Right? What you're doing is you're going to the temple. You are proclaiming your nationality. And then the temple is qualifying, the temple is acknowledging, the temple is recognizing that you have done this act, and they're giving you an identification card as proof of this act that you did, which is you nationalized.
Nobody nationalized.
You nationalized. Nobody didn't make you a Moor. A building didn't make you a Moor. If you have melanin, you're a Moor. If you declare, I am a Moorish American, I'm a descendant of a Moroccan born in America, and you go through whatever process with whatever body, and they give you some papers and they give you an identification card, you're a Moorish American. They better be doing right. They better not be selling packages. They better not be selling consultations, $800 an hour because we're the Moorish judges of whatever. They better not be doing any of that. Like, they better not be doing any of that. Right? This is for the salvation of the nations. The nations that come here from somewhere else, where they come from, they have their own identification, license, whatever, from their own people. They have their own thing going on. Like, they have their own. But when you come to North America, it's not the indigenous people that are running things. It's somebody else. Right? Which is that constant theme of occupation. Right? That we're in a compromised position as a people. Because we've so long ago strayed away from nationality that we played ourselves. Now we're paying for it.
I feel like people really think that too. Think just like what he just said in the chat, that temples are places recognized as your nationality, American more or
When you see a brother with a high top fade haircut, what do you see? Yeah, you see a fez all day. All day.
oh, that's what I said. People think that there has to be a temple, even sometimes a registered temple association, in order for you to be recognized as more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
You recognize that already.
I don't know, yeah, but like I don't need no outside recognition. I recognize that I'm more.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah. That's where the mindset should be. Yeah. With the recognition of a more. Yeah. Right? The temple is just supporting your acknowledgement of you knowing who you are. The temple supports that. The temple doesn't give you that. Right? The temple doesn't give that. The temple supports it, just like the Constitution supports. The Constitution supports your right. It doesn't give you the right to do whatever. It supports the right. So once you know that you're a Moor and you declare that you're a Moor, now it's time to be that. Now in being that, this is where it comes into the temples and the IDs and all this stuff. In being who you are, sometimes you might be challenged on who you claim you are.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be.
Because, our people are supposed to be Negro black colored. You're not supposed to know that you're Moors.
No more, no less. Negro black color.
You're not supposed to know your history. You're supposed to be, you think you came from a slave from Africa, you don't know your history, so you're a black guy. That's what you're supposed to be. When you start being yourself, and we're not talking about you have to be in front of a judge or nothing like that. We're talking about dealing with everyday people, everyday life, just walking down the street. Right? No. We are Moors. We are Moors. Who that translates to are the ones that are going to do something with this. Don't expect anything from anybody else. Right? Yeah, I'm a Moor by blood, not by club. The building can't make you a Moor. And as soon as they start presenting it like that, oh well, we could take it away from you because you didn't pay your dues or something like that. They can't do that. I mean, you can't tell a Chinese you're going to take away their Chinese identity. How you doing that? How? Can't be done. It can't be done. Yeah, so we're out here, we're out here, Aurora, Colorado, made it happen. Honors to all the Moors out there who, know what's up. Been studying, been putting in work, whether it's known or unknown. Whether it's known or unknown. Putting in work. Oh yeah, we got two. Forgot. Right. So here's one for you. So this is more Brother Yusuf doing his marathon thing for the Moors.
Yeah.
Came in a good second. Second is first pretty much. Because if it was some old lady that's been running the marathon for, the past 20 years, if she won, then, you're still first for the Moors. So honest to the Moor Yusuf.
Doing
his thing.
I saw that right there the other day, and I was like, I can't really run that. I said, yeah, that's one of the more things they put on your shirt. For real, man.
Yep. And that's some more. That's some more. More likes jogging, more went and ran the thing. Easy as that. You just went and ran the thing. That was for him. The nation gets the benefit because it was a Moor that did it, but that was for him. That was his personal sojourn. that he was able to bring to you to inspire you, right? This is more personal sojourn. I want to be where Grand Chief Cujo's at, and I can't go there, so I'm gonna bring him here. And whoever else is down for the party, then come on down, let's party. If not, oh well. Oh well. Right? Like I say, all you gotta do is get one. If you get more than one, you did a great job. You're only obligated to get one. If you have any questions, put them in the chat.
In all.
Got any questions, put it in the chat. I already gave you hours yesterday, and you're getting hours today.
Yeah, correct.
You know.
And day before yesterday, because you did a lot.
Oh yeah, and day before yesterday. And day before yesterday. So, you know, it's getting close to that time. Getting close to that time. Getting close. This water's not doing too much anymore.
Oh yeah, I'm bored. I'm ready. They call it doing that even thing, or can it just be at any time? You want to know that at even time, or it can just be at any time?
Yeah.
Stop. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, we already discussed this, and we know that this is going to be.
Yeah. I know what it is. I know what it is. You know what I mean? This is just for the Moors to know that, hey, it's a real thing, right? Our part is always done.
Oh, yeah.
You know. Huh? You seen some of that?
No.
Oh.
Peace and love, Morris. I apologize. I wanted to just get on here and apologize for yesterday because I threw Cujo off track and we started talking about it last night. We forgot to wish everybody a happy holiday yesterday. Didn't even mention it. We got to the library and started talking and stuff and forgot all about it. So I apologize for that because that was my fault for throwing them off.
It's love.
Yeah,
Right.
I wanted to say that before you got started.
Yeah. Yeah, always a great build. You know, that's just how it is when Moors get together. You know, when Moors get together, that's just what it is. Honors to all the Moors out there. So go enjoy some Colorado.
Nice and sunny out here.
Sunny out here.
Motorcycles doing donuts in the street.
Donuts. See people with short sleeve on, no jackets, like February. You know, you got short sleeve on, chilling. You know, honest to all you Moors for always supporting, always staying true to what this is about, right? We already know Juali was talking to us when he said few faithful Moors. He wasn't talking to anybody else. Had to be talking to us, right? And to check the oral statements. Juali told the Moors, go to the temple. First of all, he told the Moors, anywhere the Moor goes, becomes a temple. Secondly, he said, go to the temple, put the charter up on the wall, wait there an hour and a half. If nobody shows up, go home. We did 2.5. We did 2.5. Right? Honest to you, Moors, for being here with us. It's always great to connect with Moors. That's what I learned from these Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice tours. That, you know, It's good to press palms with Moors who you know or who you claim to know but never met.
Yeah.
You know, there's a thing to it. You know, like when we started about there's a thing to getting your first fez,
Yeah.
opening the box, and you know, there's a thing to putting on your turban for the first time. There's a thing to connect with Moors who you've been dealing with online, and you know what I mean. And then you finally get to connect with them in the flesh. It's a real deal thing, you know, and it's bigger than you know to do some lecture or to you know whatever. You know, there's something in the energies. There's a shift that happens when Moors. The shift that happens.
Yeah, I'm a private individual. And
Yeah.
my lady at the house is not neither. When we moved here, I told her, man, don't nobody need to know, no co-workers need to know where we live or none of that, at all. I had Cujo at my house, in my basement, like it was hanging out in my crib, chilling. So that says a lot. It says a lot.
Yep. Yeah, all you Moors who with the prophet now, we're with them then, exactly. All you Moors who are with the prophet now, we're with him then. Right? Like you were with him then. You know? Yeah, I could feel that all the way in NYC, exactly. It's a frequency. Like it's a frequency. And it's real. It is real. You know.
Like I said, on that one live you did a couple months ago, man. We're on a narrow path and everybody can't travel it.
Mm-hmm.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
Everybody can travel that narrow path.
It's definitely not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody. Yeah. You know. But honors to all the Moors worldwide. You already know you might see something. You might see something. You might see us pop on later. You know, let's see what's good. We'll take advantage of this beautiful day. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. This was the first stop. This was the first stop on the Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice tour. Aurora, Colorado. And hey, if Moors ever got a chance, this is a good spot. It's a good spot. If you need, you know, the peace and quiet, if you need the scenery, you know. I don't know. Let me see if you can see. I don't know how much you could see from the window.
Yeah, you can see some.
See how much. I don't know how much you could see from the window. So like past the brown building right there, you might be able to see. Yeah, it's a proper spot. Proper spot. There's definitely freshness in the air here. Like there's freshness in the air. You know. It's actually fresh. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all the Moors in the chat. We give thanks for your support always. Always. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. First stop for the Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice tour. signing out. Islam wars, honest to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali.